Hello students, so this is the time to do the exercises now. So first we are going to do the exercise from the chapter 1, that is the matter in our surroundings. So this is the chapter. So the number 1 question is that convert the following temperatures to the Celsius scale. This is the first question, and the A part is question number 1 A. We have to convert 293 K into degree Celsius. So what to do, students? You must know the relationship between these two things, that degree Celsius temperature plus 273, it becomes Kelvin temperature, and therefore 293 K will be equal to 293 minus 273, that is equal to 20 degrees Celsius. So the first answer is the 20 degrees Celsius. In B part, the temperature is 470 K. The B part of the same question is that 470 Kelvin. So this will be equal to 470 minus 273, that will be equal to 267 or 167. This will be 167. This will be 167 degree Celsius. So this way you have to find out the relation, the Kelvin scale into the degree Celsius scale. I am just cross checking it. So this is 7, this is 9, 1, this is 197, sorry, this is 197 degrees Celsius. Then in the question number 2, there is convert the following temperatures to the Kelvin scale. In the second question, we have to convert, degree Celsius temperature into Kelvin. So the first part is the 25 degrees Celsius. So that will be equal to 25 plus 273, that is equal to 298 K. So this way we have converted. Then there is another is 373 degrees Celsius. So another is 373 degrees Celsius, and this will be 373 plus 273, that comes out to be as 646 Kelvin. So this way we have to convert. Then in the question number 3, give reason for the following observations. I think you must have got these two questions, that we have done the conversion of the temperatures. Then third question is that give reason for the following observations. Naphthalene balls disappear with time without leaving any solid. You know that there are certain substances which are sublimating in nature. So naphthalene balls are also have the same characteristics. Naphthalene is a solid material that doesn't convert into the liquid state. It goes directly to the vapor phase. It goes directly to the gaseous state. So this kind of conversion we call the sublimation. So in fact, the reason behind this is the sublimation of naphthalene. The B part is we can get the smell of perfume sitting several meters away. Yes, that is on the basis of diffusion, because you know that the two gases, when at the same pressure they are kept, they mix up together, and this mixing up of the gases we call the diffusion. So if a particular perfume is kept inside a room at one particular place, it will it can be experienced, it can be smelled in every part of the room after some time because of the diffusion. So this is the event of diffusion. Then question number 4, arrange the following substances in increasing order of forces of attraction between the particles. So the substances are given to us: water, sugar and oxygen. This question number is 4. In the fourth question, we have to arrange into the increasing order of intermolecular force of attraction. One is water, one is sugar and one is oxygen. Water, you know, chemically it is H2O, sugar is C12H22O11 and oxygen is O2. In case of water, the hydrogen bonding is there and therefore the intermolecular forces should be larger. In case of sugar also, the intermolecular force of attraction will be H bonding as well as its molar mass is also greater. So here the van der Waals forces also will be greater. In case of O2, there is no H bonding, there is no dipole-dipole interaction kind of. So in case of sugar, the intermolecular force of attraction will be largest. And one thing more, that you must understand that this is liquid, this is solid and this is gas. So in the solids, the intermolecular forces of attraction will be greater and therefore the order will be sugar greater than water greater than oxygen. So this will be the order of intermolecular force of attraction. So this is the order. Then in the question number 5, what is the physical state of water at? So we have to give the physical state of water. You know that water exists in three physical states. One, the solid, that is ice. One, the liquid, that is water itself. And one, the gaseous state, that is water vapors. So the first temperature is 25 degrees Celsius. At this temperature, it exists in the liquid state. The second is a 0 degrees Celsius. At this, it exists in the liquid as well as in the solid state, because at 0 degrees Celsius, it exists like this, H2O solid. So when the temperature is perfectly 0 degrees Celsius, then this equilibrium exists, and at this equilibrium, this exists in the liquid state as well as in the solid state. At 100 degrees Celsius, once again, there is another equilibrium at the 100 degrees Celsius. 100 degrees Celsius is the boiling point of water, and at this particular temperature, it exists in this manner. So at 100 degrees Celsius, the physical states of water are liquid as well as gas. So I think you have got these solutions. Then in the question number 6, give 2 reasons to justify water at room temperature is liquid. So we have to give the reason now that why water is liquid at the standard room temperature conditions. To be anything water, to be anything gas, we have discussed already that these are the intermolecular forces which are responsible. So in case of water at room temperature, means at 25 degrees Celsius, the intermolecular force of attractions are moderately high and therefore it exists in the liquid state. So the another another question is that iron alumina is solid at room temperature. The same thing applies over here. In case of iron, the intermolecular force of attraction is the intermolecular force between the ions and the electrons, because metals exist something like, all the metals exist something like this. So this is the metallic cation and these are the electrons. So definitely there will be intermolecular force of attraction and the nature of this force will be electrostatic. The electrostatic forces are always greater. They are always higher in magnitude. Therefore, in case of iron, it becomes in the solid state because the electrostatic forces are usually large. So this we will explain that why anything exists in which particular state of existence. Then question number 7 is, why is ice at 273 K more effective in cooling than water at the same temperature? So what it says, that cooling is more effective. See, in this equilibrium, at one side it is in the liquid state, at one side it is in the solid state. So as per the question, this ice is more effective in cooling than that of the water. However, the temperature of both are same. So this happens because of the latent heat. This heat we call latent heat. In fact, there is a particular amount of heat which will be absorbed when ice at 0 degree Celsius converts to the water at the 0 degree Celsius. So since this particular amount of heat is absorbed from the object, so the cooling becomes more effective when the ice is used rather than the water at the same temperature. So this way we have to explain this thing. Then it is the question number 8, what produces more severe burns, boiling water or steam? So again the concept is same, again the things are very same. In case of liquid water and gaseous water at 100 degrees Celsius, the temperature is same, yes, but when we take the steam of 100 degrees Celsius, it releases one certain amount of heat that again we call the latent heat of vaporization. So this latent heat of vaporization is released from the gas to convert into the liquids, and therefore heating effect becomes more severe. Heating effect, burns, becomes more severe. So both the questions are same, the concept is same, that we explain on the basis of the latent heats of the vaporization, and sometimes in this case latent heat of the solidification, of the freezing. Then question number 9 is that we have to name the A, B, C, D and E. What A, B, C, D and E are? Increase heat to decrease the pressure and decrease the pressure. So A, B, solid to liquid. A, B, solid, this is the solid, then this is the equilibrium, this is liquid, then this is the equilibrium, gas, and A, B, C, D. This is A, this is B, this is C, this is D, and gas to solid, this is also one change, gas to solid, and then there is change, gas to solid, solid to gas. Gas to, this is solid to gas and this is gas to solid. So here this is E and this is F. So what A is, so this equilibrium when solid converts into a liquid, we call it the fusion. So A is the process of fusion. A is the process of fusion. Then B is the process of vaporization. And gas to liquid, this is the process of liquefaction. D is the process of solidification or freezing. E is the process of sublimation. E and F both are process of sublimation, because when liquid state is not involved, when solid converts into gas, this process we call sublimation. Liquefaction is also called as the process of condensation, and the freezing is also called as the process of solidification. So these are the questions and these are the solutions. So this is the exercise of chapter number 1, that is a matter in our surroundings. I hope all of you have got all the questions. So okay students, thanks.